Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jen and thank you so much for pressing on today's video, and I cannot wait to show you guys the new family update that I've got. I've been playing for a while now and it's been dramatic. There's been some tea. You guys need to know everything. I'm going to catch you up on everything, and then after this video I will be doing a gameplay. I think that's what I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a gameplay for you guys, so don't worry about that. There'll be no gameplay in this video, but there's going to be a lot of tea and you guys are going to have to catch up on it if you want to know what's going on in the episode where I'm going to be playing. So keep an eye on that, and I can't wait to see you guys, and let me know what you guys think down below, because I worked really hard on this and this was so fun. Like, I had so much fun doing this. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. The last time we left off was when Isaac and Celeste both were expecting a baby, and this baby Celeste did not want to have. She kind of was not ready and was not at the place career-wise to be having a child, but she ended up going through with the full term of the pregnancy, and they end up welcoming their first child together, a beautiful healthy baby girl named Luna Nove Larson. Time had passed and Cole had aged into elderhood. Genevieve, now a teenager, was about to start high school with her best friend and niece, Kate Huntington. That was until Kate got the unfortunate call that her father had passed. Jace Huntington had injured himself at work and was needing surgery. However, the surgery was not a success and resulted in Jace's untimely death. The news devastated the Huntingtons and everyone that knew them. However, life had to still continue, and Kate was trying her best to keep it together. She did not want any of her friends to pity her and treat her differently. Hence why she decided to go out to prom with her best friend. And prom night was as beautiful and amazing as the girls have dreamed. They loved prom, and weirdly enough, both Kate and Genevieve ran for prom queen against each other, and Genevieve won. About a week later, news were quickly spreading that Lilith and Dawn Huntington were expecting their second child together, which at this time seemed a little bit inappropriate, but actually it was great timing because the Huntington family were all mourning, but this was like a rainbow to the cloudy day that they were all having, and this child could not have come at a better time for this family. Speaking of better time, the funeral for Jace Huntington was held, and his beautiful and loving wife, Eleanor Pierce Huntington, gave the eulogy. This was coming at a good time to mourn and just get through with the mourning process, because she ends up giving the urn back to the Choi family residence, where the rest of the Choi family dead members reside. And a little bit later, Lilith and Dawn gave birth to Kimmy Huntington, which Dawn named her in honor of his late mother, Kimberly Choi. Great news over at the Choi family residence. After a while of trying and failing, Jasmine and Cypress were finally expecting. It was truly everything they had wanted. Jasmine even threw a gender reveal party at the home. As many would have guessed, the gender was a girl, and she wanted a home birth instead of one at the hospital, which they gave birth. It was difficult, but gave birth to a baby girl named Eris Choi. Cypress got the call from his sister that she might be getting married soon. Zach was growing up into a teenager, which he's super excited to start high school, and his sister also had birthdays that same following month, and she finally graduated high school. Both Kate and Genevieve went on to move to Solani together. Kate, actually, because of the falling out that she had with her mother, Eleonora, she went around on the internet and found out that OnlySims was a great way to make money because she was making bank off of it. So she ends up doing that permanently as a job, while Genevieve attended uni under the fine art major and met, then dated this guy named Jason, which she kind of liked, but she wasn't really sure about. Meanwhile, Kate was kind of doing the nasty on dating apps with randos, and weirdly enough, she met Isaac there, which she didn't even know who he was, and he didn't know who she was because of her wig and major plastic surgery that she had. Genevieve finally graduated college with all A's, might I add. And her whole family was super excited. It was a super wholesome moment for her. This is what she wanted ever since she was a little kid. She wanted to be a musician, and this was the dream that she was going to achieve. Then Kate takes her out to a beach, and that's where Kate kind of meets this guy named Jameson Grims, and he looked really cute. So she asked him, "Do you like what you see?" And he said, "I've seen better." So that was a little upsetting, but then he eyes this beautiful Genevieve from the corner, and then she asks him, and he clearly is obsessed with her. So they start kissing and smooching and grinding on each other in the water and stuff in front of Kate, no less. But keeping in mind, Genevieve did not know that that was going down. She was in the water at the time, and Kate's whole confidence just got tore down. After coming back from the beach, Genevieve breaks up with Jason and starts dating Jameson. That same night, she gets a phone call that her dad, Cole, had died. Her mother was super upset, but her best friend, her mother's best friend, Myrtle Penn, decides to move in after Cypress and Jasmine had already moved out. Now, this sparks a little bit of a romance between Myrtle's teenage daughter, Misty Leanne Penn, and Karina's son, Zach Choi. Now, the mourning period for Cole was fairly short because, like I said, they were expecting this to go down. They were expecting him to die soon, and Zach just kind of wanted to go to prom anyway, so he asked his girlfriend to go to prom with him, which was Misty, and she said yes. This was when all the teenagers of the household made a party together and they all started hanging out a lot more. That's when Genevieve calls and says she finds a ring in Jameson's bag. Now, prom was going to be in a couple of hours and they were all nervous. All the teens said they were going to go to prom together, but then the other Summoner household teen members decided to not show up, so it was only just Zach and Misty, and they both weirdly won prom king and queen, which was super cute, super adorable. And after prom, they all gathered, all the teens gathered together to go to an after party at the lounge, the local lounge, and it was a night to remember. The rehearsal dinner for both Jameson and Genevieve were happening, and they were getting ready for a wedding of their dreams. This wedding was expensive. Okay, it was not like any of the other weddings a Choi family member have hosted before. This one had a little bit of a flair to it. Why? Because Genevieve wanted the best, the bougie, the baddest. She wanted everything she could on the list. Can you blame her? She's a bride. You know, you don't say no to a bride. So yes, her wedding was at this newly built barn wedding, and it was not like one of those like bad barn weddings that you can think. This is very farmland with expensive catering and a beautiful venue altogether. Her mother walked her down the aisle. Their officiant was Ezra Summoner, and it was a beautiful sight to watch them get married there. Of course, they did have expensive catering, like I stated before. The drinks were on par. Their whole wedding was a dream and a magical experience. Very fancy. A lot of guests were there. Even his friends, Jameson's friends attended as well. So it was a lot of people at this wedding. A couple of days later, after the wedding, news got out that Zach actually got his girlfriend pregnant, Misty Leanne, which they gave birth to their baby boy, Liam Choi, and only a handful of people knew, which were Karina and Misty's mom, Myrtle. So they don't know how it got out, but he felt responsible, so he asked her to marry him, which she said yes. And a couple of days later, he graduated, grew up, and started focusing on his career to help support the family. Rosalina ends up moving in with Kate as Genevieve moves out with her husband, Jameson. Karina ends up passing away, as well as Dawn Huntington passing away, all very, very early into their elderhood years. Dawn's death was very difficult for the girls to take. His wife, Lilith, especially took it hard. His eldest, Lexi, probably even worse. And his youngest, Kimmy, she kind of kept it together a little bit. She didn't really know much of her dad, given that she was born a little bit distant from him in a way, which is another family drama in itself, but she ends up being okay with his death. Meanwhile, his eldest daughter, Lexi, was the closest to him, and she kind of took that pretty hard. It took her a while to get over the death of her father. Not long after, Ezra, a summoner, also passed away of old age, and at this point there were so many deaths coming back to back to back in the family that a lot of people just kind of got numb to the feeling, and they just were ready to say goodbye to the older generation that was going to happen, and they were okay with it. So the teens and kids kind of just moved on with their lives. They all were sad, of course, but they all went on with their lives, went to prom. Garrett Summoner got nominated and won Prom King, so that was super exciting for him. Now, at this time, Rosalind has met and fallen in love and dated this guy that she lived next door with named Bruce Woodson, and love is strong, so she ends up proposing to him, breaking all societal norms, proposing to him, and of course, he said yes. News could not have come at a worse time because their mother ends up passing away, and Kate, after fooling around with so many different people, ends up getting pregnant, and she doesn't even know who the baby daddy is. All the bad news and tragedy that has been upon the family, both Bruce and Rosalind decided to just go ahead and elope, have a private wedding, because they did not want anything big and bold, because it's just disrespectful. Misty was now fully a young adult, and now both Zach and Misty are preparing for their wedding, and this is where we leave off of the Choi family update. Well guys, that will be the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it, and honestly, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button, comment down below what you guys think about this whole update. You know, if you have a favorite family member, let me know. If you're sad to see a family member go, let me know down below. Like, if you had a favorite from the first update, let me know about that. But I was really sad that a lot of them died, and I'm super sad to see Ariel go, because she was actually one of my favorites. Well, she is one of my favorites, so I'm super sad about that. But let me know, and I will see you guys in the actual video of this gameplay, or just another video in general. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.